Hi everyone, welcome back to my next video. We are still here at the Rubber Tramp Rendezvous, RTR, and there are about 10 bazillion people here. And I ran into Chuck, who was here last year, and we met. Say hi, Chuck.
Hello, how is everybody out there?
And Chuck's done a really nice job on his van. I was really glad when he's agreed to let us take a look inside. So Chuck, you're not full-timing.
No, I'm not full-time. I'm kind of what you'd call a heavy-duty part-timer. I go out quite a bit. But yeah, I still have a home base and a house.
And you know, you get the best of both worlds.
Absolutely.
You can travel, and the van makes it cheap.
Absolutely.
And so you decided you wanted to travel on the side, and you started looking for a rig. And so tell us about the van you found.
Well, it's a 1991 Ford E350 club wagon. So it's a long one, or E250, excuse me. It's a long one, 3/4 ton. It already had the high top, it had the awning, and it was gutted inside. And it had some mechanical issues that I addressed. I didn't pay much for it. And I ended up finishing cleaning out the inside and then building an interior, and I tried to use repurposed stuff, and I tried to think outside the box. And so I basically built the interior out of 2 desks that I got from the Habitat Restore in the town I live in. And one was $25 and I made a bed out of it, and the other one was $35. I made a kitchen out of it. And it's worked very, very well. For one person traveling, it's ideal.
And that's something I hear a lot is people say, well, I don't have the skills or the tool or the money to spend for these great builds. And you're living proof you don't have to spend much.
And I'm real proud of how it turned out, and I think most anybody can do it. It's, you know, I'm not anything particularly special. I'm kind of a handy guy. I'm a retired firefighter, and I know a little bit about a lot of stuff, but not a lot about anything. And so as a result, like I say, using stuff that was already made, my bed made out of a $25 desk. It has 6 locking drawers, and you can't even buy a sheet of plywood for that.
Right.
And just figuring out, just like I say, I tried to think outside the box, and I tried to figure out a way to do it simply. I wanted a good, comfortable place to sleep. I wanted my own potty, so I have a porta potty. And I also wanted it open enough that I could go to the lumberyard and haul a sheet of plywood in if I wanted to. So it has a hallway in it, and I can haul 2x4s or a step ladder or something like that if I want to.
And I know we've talked, and you haven't spent much money.
No, I've got totally, the whole rig, I've probably got less than $5,000 in it.
Less than $5,000, and really comfortable.
Not counting the mattress, because I kind of splurged on the mattress and got an 8-inch memory foam mattress, but not counting the mattress, I built virtually the whole interior for about $200.
Wow, that's amazing.
And it's very, very comfortable. I can stand up and walk around in it. I'm 6 foot tall, and that was kind of what I wanted.
And being a 91, you've put some money into the mechanics.
Yeah, it needed some stuff. It's a 27-year-old vehicle, and you can imagine that a 27-year-old vehicle is going to need some stuff. And most of the work I was able to do myself, and there was a few things I had to have to job out to a shop, and that cost a little bit of money. The single most expensive thing was tires.
Right. And
of course, every old vehicle you ever buy is going to need tires.
Right.
They're either worn out or they're out of date. So that was $600 to put a set of tires on it. And then I took the running boards and stuff off it to gain ground clearance, because I spent a lot of time up in the woods, and so I wanted to be able to take it on back roads. And it's totally set up off grid, so that it doesn't have systems. I didn't want tanks to worry about. I wanted it as simple as it could possibly be, and that's the way it turned out.
So it's a great home for very little money, and very little work, really.
Basically, yeah, it was quite simple. I built the entire thing completely by myself, with the exception of when I built the bed setup, I had a friend come over and help me lift it in there because it was awkward. Other than that, I've done all the work by myself.
Great, great. So would you mind if we went inside and took a look around?
No, not at all.
All right, let's do that, folks. We'll go inside now. So we're inside, and I can see that you really do have a lot of headroom, 6 foot, and you have plenty to spare.
Absolutely. I had a friend who's 6'6" standing here, and his head just touched the ceiling.
Oh wow, that's very sweet.
You know, these 2 shelves, I just store miscellaneous stuff. I have cold weather gear here because every once in a while I get out someplace where it's really cold. So that's a below zero sleeping bag and Arctic gear. And then the rest of my stuff for my various hobbies that I use this for.
And you have great windows that open.
That's one of the things that I really liked about it. There's a lot of windows in here. I like a lot of light, and I like to see out, and I like the ventilation.
Right.
I kicked around the floor plan, if you will, in my head, and finally came up with this, and so far I've been using it for well over a year now, and it's worked just fine.
Okay, so nothing very complicated about just buying a desk and setting it in here.
Right. The most complicated thing about it was I only had 42 inches to work with, and finding a 24-inch by 42-inch desk is a little tricky. But I finally found one at the Habitat store. It cost $35. Basically, I put it in here. I cook on a single burner butane stove, which fits in one of the drawers when I'm not using it. For a sink, I use a stainless steel salad bowl, so I don't have to have any tanks or anything like that. As far as the refrigeration, I'm an old backpacker, so I eat food that doesn't require refrigeration. I've experimented with it both ways, and so far I kind of like not having to deal with ice chests or anything like that. But the kitchen arrangement has worked out quite well, and as a bonus now, if I need to use it as a desk, I can actually use it as a desk.
Yeah. So you got storage, a kitchen spot, and what are you doing for water? You said you have a faucet, your salad bowl.
I actually carry 10 gallons of utility water with a little battery operated pump that's back under the bed, and then for drinking water I just use bottled water, and that seems like it works for me. And
your seat swivels, I see, and that really makes a difference in the comfort of a van.
Yeah,
did it come with a swivel seat, or did you have to?
Nice. It all came that way. Then back here, the desk that this is built on, this is actually an old, probably a World War II vintage wooden desk. It's actually pre-plywood, and it had the screw-on legs, so I unscrewed the legs and dropped it down. And it's actually, I actually paid $25 for it. It has 6 locking drawers, and I extended it 9 inches to the rear over the wheel well, and extended it 20 inches in length for a twin extra long mattress, and because I'm a big guy and I like a long mattress. The desk is 60 inch desk. It's 30 by 60, a standard size desk. I extended it 20 inches on the end.
With you use some kind of an L bracket or something?
No, I
built a leg.
Screwed directly into the base of the body of the desk itself. And I actually made it out of scraps I had laying around my house from other projects.
Right.
And the center divider I also made out of scraps. And the area underneath the 20 inches on the end here there's a porta potty under there. And I'm an old guy and I kind of like having a porta potty available. And I got one of the fancy ones that has a flush motor and all that kind of stuff and a water tank, so it works just like you want at your house. It's kind of my daily driver as well. And having this hallway here enables me to go to the lumber yard and pick up a sheet of plywood or carry a step ladder or 2x4s or whatever I want to do, and it still gives me a place to do it. I can haul a bicycle in here with no problem, and there's plenty of room to move around. If I was full-time, I probably would want more storage space, but since I'm not full-time, I really don't need it. I'm kind of a minimalist when it comes to traveling and doing this kind of stuff, and so far it carries everything that I need.
Good. Yeah, it's that being able to load things in through the back, long things, really helps.
It's extremely handy, extremely handy. And I couldn't sleep crossways in this. I'm too tall, so I had to put the bed lengthways.
Right.
And but that actually worked out better because it gave me the capability of having the hallway.
Well, and with it being a desk, came with the great organizing the structure through the drawers.
Absolutely. As solid as can be, and like I say, the drawers all locked for travel, and it just works out really, really well.
And it was no harder than checking thrift stores, the Habitat for Humanity, and
right. The local Habitat store had this desk, and it was pretty old, and so nobody really wanted it, and so they kept knocking the price down. And when they hit $25, I said, I'll figure out a way to make this work.
Right.
And it's worked far beyond my expectations.
Right. No, it's incredible because it's solid wood. It'll last forever.
Right. It's actually pre-plywood, so it's actually made out of real wood.
Yeah. That's just great. And folks, one thing I tell everyone is look for used furniture, and I also like plastic organizers and bins. And something else that's great is filing cabinets. You can put filing cabinets down at the base, and then just a piece of plywood across, and it's a great bed and good organization.
Right.
So you can do this for very little money and very little talent.
Right. I've got the mounts on the side of the wall here are actually from my Chase Lounge and my chair that are sitting outside.
Mm-hmm.
I use the Mr. Buddy heater like everybody else does, and it mounts in the back there.
Mm-hmm.
And I know somebody's going to wonder probably about what this is.
Yes.
What this is all about.
What is this all about?
Well, I built this out of scrap, so it's way overbuilt. It's 2x6s, but this space on the end here that I left this way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in the process of trying to learn how to be a wood carver, and I have a piece of custom carved wood that's going to go in there. That's going to trim this all out, and it's going to make it beautiful. But I've been working on it for a year and it's not done yet. So who knows when it'll be done.
And so this is you're using the area between the 2x6s as a shelf
right.
unit.
Right. I was 3 shelves on the kitchen side and 2 shelves up here on the bedroom side.
So it's just a 2x6 standing on end with it's 2x6 in between,
Held together with screws.
Yeah.
The entire assembly here can be removed in probably a couple hours if I wanted to. Now I don't have. People may have a question about batteries and so forth. I don't have solar.
No.
I do have an isolator, and I have 2 6-volt batteries in series, golf cart batteries under the floor in the back, and they are plumbed up to the charging station right here in the corner. And that allows me to charge my phone and my cameras and all my other devices that I need to charge. I don't usually sit in one spot long enough to run the batteries down. In fact, I've never run them down, and so it works for me. I guess here again, if I was full timing, I would probably want solar, and I've thought about putting solar on here, but at this point, I don't think I really need it.
No, as a part timer, you leave the house charged. You're not gone all along. The engine charges as you go.
Usually, yeah. Usually by the time I get wherever I'm going, everything is charged up anyway.
Right. It still feels
Absolutely.
really open.
Absolutely.
It doesn't feel crowded in here in the least. And you can see that this is just, it's headboard. It becomes kind of a headboard with built-in storage.
Right.
Nice. Very clever. And little touches, of course. You have, this is something you can buy at Amazon, or you probably could get that in an auto supply store.
Yeah, they came from Amazon, that particular one. The other one did too. And the other one it was one that fit over a door, and I cut it apart and installed it up there. I don't have a lot of clothes with me right now because I wasn't planning on being gone that long. But so there's empty bins up there.
You got a comfortable bed. You got a nice place to sit and relax. You've got a place to cook. You got a place to go to the bathroom. What else do you need?
That's exactly it. It's like having your own little cabin in the woods, and all I really need is a relatively flat spot. And,
right.
And I'm not even as long as I don't fall out of bed, I'm not even real concerned about that.
And for less than $5,000.
For right around a little bit less than $5,000 total. And like I say, the way I look at it is I'm happy with what I did. I'm proud of what I did. But anybody can do it. All they have to do is think a little bit, plan a little bit, and you don't have to have a lot of money. The mechanical condition of this truck right now, I drive it anywhere.
Right. Just put the work in when you have to.
Exactly.
And how much did you pay for the original van?
$1,400.
$1,400.
And it already had the top on it. It already had an awning. Did have some, like I say, it had some mechanical issues that had to be addressed. And I built, not counting the mattress, I built the whole interior for right around $200.
The top is worth $3,000.
Right.
You buy an old van, put a top on it. That's $4,000.
Right.
So you stole the thing. In other words, you should go to jail.
I've had people tell me that.
and so you buy it expecting you to put some money into it, and you get it all done before, and you may have to do some on the road. That'll happen.
Right.
And it's an adventure.
Yeah, it had some little electrical gremlins that took me a little bit to figure out, but once I got that figured out and got that solved, I haven't had any problems with it since.
Well, Chuck, thanks so much for sharing your home. I just think this is the way most people should go. A good, solid foundation van, and then build on it and just use furniture. And if you decide this isn't good enough, you can build out some elaborate thing later on.
And I could have got a newer van, but this one's got a ton of character.
Yeah.
It's a ton of personality, and anybody can work on it. Even I can work on it. It doesn't have a lot of the computer stuff that the newer ones have. It's also heavy body-on-frame construction. It doesn't get the best gas mileage in the world, but that's what the price you pay for driving an old vehicle like this.
Right. Okay, Chuck. Thanks so much. I really appreciate your sharing your time, your home with us, and your time. And folks, I think there's a lesson here that we can be inspired and learn from Chuck. So thanks for watching. I hope you've learned something. If you did, like us on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, and we'll talk to you later.